Welcome to KiniNews. I'm your host Prasad. The pot calling the kettle black. That's how one may sum up portions of Najib's debate with Anwar Ibrahim last night, especially on the issue of integrity. Najib Abdul Razak slammed the former Pakatan Harapan government's decision to appoint lawyers Tommy Thomas and Latifah Koya as the Attorney General and MACC Chief respectively. During his debate last night with opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim, the former Prime Minister said it has never occurred in Malaysia's history for an Attorney General to be a political appointee. Najib added that even more serious, Harapan also had a political appointee to lead MACC. Najib, who led BN to its defeat in 2018, was engaged in a live televised debate with Anwar last night. Both leaders debated on the government's response to the ailing Sapura Energy Berhad and Malaysia's future in general. In an attempt to ridicule Anwar's anti-corruption stance, Najib said such appointments in the government also jeopardize Harapan's integrity. Another portion of Najib's debate stood out when he tried to explain what he meant by cash is king. If you're expecting clarity, let's just say his explanation left us all a little bit more confused.
Najib Abdul Razak's explanation of his infamous cash is king remark has left many puzzled. The former Prime Minister, during a debate with the opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim last night, said the king in his phrase referred to the public. However, many are having a hard time accepting the UMNO leader's explanation. DAP Secretary General Anthony Loke said Najib's new interpretation made no sense. Loke said Najib tried to spin that the king is the rakyat, meaning the cash is rakyat. Cash is king is commonly taken to mean that money can be used to buy anything, including power and influence. Najib became associated with the phrase in 2015 after uttering the remarks to Dr Mahathir Mohamad when the latter expressed concern over the controversial Brim Cash Aid policy. Najib explained in 2019 that he did not mean the phrase literally and that he meant the rakyat were kings and they deserved cash aid. He repeated this line of reasoning last night when quizzed about it by an audience member during his debate against PKR President Anwar Ibrahim. He said direct cash transfers were the best way to help the people and that this would give them the freedom to spend as they wish. However, Anwar retorted that such a policy only created a dependency syndrome. Anwar also said that the cash aid was meant to garner support and not give them true financial independence.
Ismail Sabri is in the US, where he met the US President today. This comes just a day after he met industry figures in a bid to attract more investment to Malaysia. Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob met with United States President Joe Biden and ASEAN leaders at the White House today. President Biden hosted the leaders of ASEAN for a two-day ASEAN-US Special Summit in Washington, D.C., which began on Thursday. Ismail Sabri also joined Biden and ASEAN leaders for a group photo at the compound of the White House. They then proceeded to an official dinner hosted by President Biden at the White House. This is the second time such a summit with Southeast Asian leaders is hosted by an American president in the US. In February 2016, then President Barack Obama welcomed ASEAN leaders in Sunnylands, California. Yesterday, Ismail Sabri rolled out the red carpet for American investors and businessmen and presented Malaysia as a preferred investment destination. He welcomed them, especially the Fortune 500 companies, to invest or increase their investment. We inch closer to putting an end to political frogs, but the cabinet will need to give the go-ahead before it reaches the Dewan Rakyat.
The Parliamentary Special Select Committee on restricting lawmakers from switching parties has reached a consensus on almost all matters on the framework of the bill. Now, the Attorney General's chambers will proceed to prepare the bill for the committee's scrutiny when it convenes again on May 19th. This is according to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department in charge of Parliament and Law, Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jafar. Apart from the committee, the bill will also be reviewed by the Transformation and Political Stability Steering Committee. No date has been set for this. The Steering Committee oversees the implementation of the Confidence and Supply Agreement between Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob and Pakatan Harapan. Even if the committee agrees with the bill by next week, it will still have to be greenlit by the Cabinet before it reaches the Dewan Rakyat.
Sarawak has big plans in store as it tries to learn from Norway on how to run a sovereign wealth fund successfully. Sarawak will engage with Norway towards the successful formation and management of its own sovereign wealth fund. This was revealed by Sarawak Premier Abang Johari Tun Openg in a statement issued from Oslo today. He said given the success of Norway's sovereign wealth fund, which had been managed with the highest standard of governance since its inception in 1996, it was a standard Sarawak needed to follow. He added that given the many parallels between Sarawak and Norway, Sarawak was particularly interested in the lessons to be learned from Norway, given that it had 25 years of experience in developing the fund. Abang Johari is on a 2-day visit to Norway as part of his week-long trip to Europe. He also delivered a keynote address at the World Hydrogen 2022 Summit and Exhibition in Holland last Monday. UMNO and PAS's marriage may have come to an end, but some in UMNO appear to have a soft spot for the Islamist party. UMNO Information Chief Sharil Hamdan has asked PAS to stop attacking UMNO leaders. He said this is especially important if they are truly interested in achieving their goal of uniting Muslims in the country. He was responding to a statement by PAS Information Chief Khairil Nizam Kirudin, who had vowed that the Islamist party will continue its agenda to unite the Muslims. Sharil asked Khairil to propose to PAS leaders for the Muafakat National Committee to reconvene again. The UMNO leader added that the party was not looking for a fight, but if a fight comes, they will be called to respond. He said Khairul's statement appeared to blame UMNO President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi for the breakdown of Muafakat National. He claimed that the real reason for Muafakat not working out was because PAS decided to prioritize their working relationship with other parties. 18 outbreaks of the hand, foot and mouth disease have been detected in Kelantan, a massive spike compared to last year.
Kelantan has recorded a shocking spike in the number of hand, foot and mouth disease cases. The number of cases have gone up by 553% between January and early this month, with 1,548 cases. Kelantan Health Department Director Dr Zaini Husin said of the total that the majority of cases involve children aged between 1 and 4. In a statement, he said some 87.9% of the reported cases involve children aged 6 and below. Zaini said 18 outbreaks of the disease had been declared between January and May, compared to only 1 outbreak in the corresponding period last year. Outbreaks mostly occurred in kindergartens and nurseries.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.